Hey, what's up guys? Micah here with TactiCalifornia. Thanks for tuning in. And today we're going to be discussing the modifications I've made to my Glock 19 and why I think they're necessary. Alright guys, so this is my Glock 19. It's a Gen 3. The first thing I would upgrade on any Glock is definitely going to be the sights. Those plastic sights that come from the factory are the Achilles heel, in my opinion, of a Glock when it comes from the factory. So definitely replace those. And the reason being is they break, they chip, they're just not meant to hold up. And when you start upping your game in your training, start doing more one-handed manipulations, one-handed malfunction drills, stuff like that, you're really going to want a positive ledge. I mean, this ledge is so gnarly. You can catch that on your belt, rack it off your holster, your boot, tire, you name it. So definitely upgrade the sights, guys. That's one thing I definitely recommend. If nothing else, do that. I've also done some extensive stipple work. As I'm sure you can see, I did it all around the grip, on the front where my thumb would go for my support hand, down here for my support hand, underneath the trigger guard. That's definitely, again, a must for me in my Glocks. And the reason being is my hands sweat, and as they sweat, the gun gets slippery, guys. Without this aggressive texturing, it just slips out of my hand under recoil, and that is not safe, and that is not practical. And that's not the best situation, so that's why I would definitely recommend doing that. I've also done no grip reduction. As a lot of guys do with stippling, they'll tend to get rid of the finger grooves and reduce the backstrap a bit. I haven't done that because I haven't found a need for it. My hand fits so stinking well in those finger grooves. It feels positive, it works really well for me, so I definitely just kept that on there. I've done these combat cuts down below, and the reason I did those, I did it on both sides, is so if I ever had a double feed and the gun just does not want to let the magazine drop free, I can get my fingers on the magazine and strip and rip it out. So I definitely, again, recommend those for anybody. And once you've done that, you'll realize if you start doing double feed malfunction drills, you'll notice that that's pretty much necessary. Another thing I've done is these accelerator cuts. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's a ledge here. I've reduced the amount of grip there, and so now it's created a ledge for me to place my support hand thumb and apply downward pressure on the firearm, and that helps mitigate the muzzle rise. When the muzzle wants to come up from the recoil, I can hold that downward pressure and just keep it flat. I really enjoy that, and that's a must for me as well. I cut out around the magazine release button. And I did that because I didn't want an extended magazine release, because those tend to touch things you don't want them to touch and drop the magazine when you don't want it to drop. So I didn't want to extend a magazine, but it was a little tough for me to get all the way around and push the button straight down to release the mag. So I just cut out the area around it, and it seemed to work really well for me. I've also undercut the trigger guard here. Just took a Dremel of that, and that helps me get my hand a little bit higher up and avoid that Glock knuckle that most Glocks are notorious for giving people. It was irritating my knuckle quite a bit. I've also 45-degree cut the trigger guard right here, and that kind of is another place to index. I can start building my grip from here if I should choose to, and roll the gun in, and that works really well for me. So I definitely recommend that. It's not a must for most people, but I definitely feel it's necessary for me and my Glocks, and I stippled that area as well. And last but not least, guys, is going to be this Inforce APL 200 lumen weapon light. I'll be covering this in a later video, but I think every gun should have a weapon light on it. I don't understand why people carry these things without weapon lights. Absolutely critical and essential. Real easy to operate. Never gonna be a hindrance in my opinion, so I don't understand why people aren't carrying weapon lights on their weapons. But that's it, guys. This is my Glock 19, and those are the modifications I've made to it. Alright guys, that covers the modifications I've made to my Glock 19 and why I think they're necessary. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please click like down below and subscribe to the channel. We got tons of new videos coming your way. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Micah with TactiCalifornia.